Hey everyone, my name is Riley and this video is a complete Brevo tutorial for beginners. I will be showing you every aspect of Brevo, from how you can create and organize your email lists, how to create beautiful emails inside of Brevo, and even how you can set up automated email sequences to make your emails go out on autopilot. All you have to do is follow along with this tutorial and you will walk away as a Brevo expert. The first thing that you need to do is click on the top link down in the description. It's going to be this link right here, geforcenorth/recommends/Brevo. And as soon as you click on this, this is going to take us over to Brevo right here. And this is how you can get the best deals and discounts when using Brevo. So let's actually go in and take a look right here at the pricing. Now, when we come into the pricing area, essentially what we do is we can go down here, we choose the plan, so between free, starter and business, and then we can come down and choose how many emails we want to be able to send per month. Now, the difference between these right here, the free, starter and business, is with the free, we get customizable email templates, which is awesome. We get the drag and drop editor, transactional emails, and SMS and WhatsApp campaigns. The main limiting factor on this free plan is the fact that we can only send 300 emails per day. So that is pretty limited right there. With starter, this is going to start from 5,000 emails per month. But of course, we can come down here and choose how many we need. There's no daily sending limit. We have no Brevo logo. So essentially at the bottom of all of your Brevo emails, on the free plan, you are going to get the logo, but we can take this off with starter. We also get analytics and 24/7 email support. With business, we get marketing automation, predictive sending. So this is going to schedule campaigns at the best time. Multi-user access, so you can have multiple people and team members on your Brevo account. We can also build landing pages. We can do some A/B split testing. We can go with advanced statistics, and we also get phone support. So once we have chosen our plan, let's say that we want to go with the starter plan, we can then come down here and choose how many emails we want to be able to send per month. So if I want to send 40,000 emails per month, let's say I have an email list of 4,000 people and I want to send 10 emails per month, then this is going to be perfect right here. So we select this. We can then choose if we want to remove the Brevo branding for $12 per month. So we can select that on, or we can keep that off. And then we can go right here and choose sign up. So in this area, we can now choose if we want to sign up with Google, Apple, or just entering in an email or password. So I'm going to sign up with Google. And just like that, I now have my Brevo account. So down this left-hand side, we can see all of the different things that we can do within Brevo. So let's start this off with the contact section. In the contact section right here, this is where we can see all of the contacts and emails that we have on our email list. So they're all going to show up right here. We can see the contact name. We can see if they are subscribed to email or SMS. We can see their email right here. If they made any changes to their profile, we can click in and get a more in-depth view into this user. So we can see once again their name, their email, their phone number. And right here, we can see their specific information for all of the emails that we have sent. So we can see how many emails we have sent to this user, how many of those were delivered and actually hit their inbox, how many of these emails they opened as a percentage. So maybe they opened 50% of the emails we sent. And then unique clicks means how many times did they click on the link that you put in your email. So maybe you are running an e-com store and in the email, you put a link to your e-com store. This basically means from the emails that they opened, how many times did they click on the link and go to the website. We can also add a note to this user. So we can go up here and we can add a note. So we could type out a note right here. You could fill in some information about this user that you want to know. We can then click on save note. And then right here in the history section, we can see the note was created. So we can go in, we can edit this note, we can delete this note if we want to. Then we have a few other options such as email, call, and task, but we will get into these more later on in the video. So for now, let's just back out, and that is the contact section. And then what we can also do is we can go up here and we can either create a contact or import contact. So creating a contact means you can go through and add your contacts one by one. So I could go in here and just add James Taylor. Then we could enter in his email, add a phone number, and choose the list that we want to add him to. Now we will talk about lists in a second and how we can create new lists. But for now, let's just click on create. And as you can see, this contact has now been added. So if I refresh this, we can now see James is added right there. Alternatively, we can import contacts. So if you are moving from one email software over to another, then we can click into import contacts. And the easiest way to do this from all of these options is to import a file. So we can click on import file right here, and it's now going to ask you for a file that you want to import. Now, it's going to be different on how you get this depending on what email provider you used to be with. But all you need to do is basically open up a new tab, go over to YouTube, and then type in how to export contacts, and then whatever email software you are using. So let's say I am with MailerLite right now. We can type this in, and then we are looking for export. So this is import, how to export subscribers from MailerLite. So you can just watch this video right here, export your contacts, and then you will get a CSV file. So then all we need to now do is click into this. Then we can drop in the CSV file right here. Then we have all of these emails, so it should come up with all of the emails from your old software. Confirm your file, and then we can go down and choose a list that we want to add these people to. So by default, we are given some lists already that Brevo are going to give us. But we can go in here and create a new list, and I'm just going to call this main list. Just like that. And then once that is added, we can create this list, confirm this right here. And just like that, this is now going to go through and it adds all of these emails to our new list. So that is how you can import contacts. Next, if we go to this left-hand side, once again under contacts, we now have lists. So this is where you can create new lists and you can basically break your audience up into separate lists. So for example, I have main list right here, but maybe I want to create a list that is specifically from my YouTube subscribers. So I can once again create this list. And in here, I can say YouTube email list and then click on create. And as you can see, I now have this YouTube email list. So now at any time, if I want to go back here and I want to create some contacts or I want to import some contacts, well, I can just drop them into this list right here. We can see how many contacts are on each list. And that is how you can split your email marketing into separate email lists and just keep them more organized. Next, let's take a look at how we can actually create emails on Brevo to send out to this list. To do this, just click on campaigns over here on the left-hand side. And then you can see we have a few different options. The main one right here is going to be email. So let's click into this. And this is now going to come up with email campaigns. So these are just some drafts that I have already created. Let's just delete these right here. And to create a new email campaign, once again, make sure you are in the email campaign section. And then we can go over to create campaign on this right-hand side. We can then come in here and create a campaign name. And keep in mind that the name that we put here, the subscribers that you send this to will not be able to see this. This is just for you to be able to see between different emails and campaigns that you have created. So in here, let's just call this test. Then we can click on create campaign. And now this is where we can actually start creating the email. So in here, we can choose the recipients and who actually receives this email campaign. So we can click right here on add recipients and we can now choose a list that we want to send this to. So we can click in and we can see all of the email lists that we have created. So you can see main list that I created and also YouTube email list. So let's send this to the main list right here. We can see how many recipients are going to receive this. And then also we can choose not to send this to unengaged contacts. So Brevo is actually pretty smart and it basically has algorithms to detect who is opening your emails, who isn't opening your emails. And if somebody is unengaged, then it's pretty pointless to send an email to them. So we can click on this if we do want to turn off unengaged contacts. And then we can click on save. Next, we can create a subject line for this email. So we can click on add subject. And over here, it's then going to show how this email is going to show up. So for the subject line, let's just call this "You need to see this." Just like that. And then we can also add some preview text that is going to show up right here. So in here, I'm just going to say this is going to blow your mind. And then what we can also do is go down here and add in emojis. So I want like a head blowing up emoji. So I type in like head. This is the one that we want. And that's going to show up right there. So once we have the subject line and preview text created, we can save this. And now we can go down to design. This is where we can actually start creating the email that we are going to send. So we click on start design right here. And over here, we have a few different templates and layouts to choose from. First of all, we have this layout section, and this is just where we can choose a general layout for the email. So we can either start from scratch, we can use simple, which is just some text, register for a webinar, we have some sell a product, tell a story, or alternatively, we can go over to template gallery, and this is where we can actually use some pre-built templates to start creating the email. So with any of these, we can just go in, we can change the text, change the image, everything like that. And we have a few different pages of these. So you can go through and you can find an email that you really like the look of. For example, I'm going to choose this one right here, and then we can click on use template. This is then going to take us over to the email builder inside of Brevo. So this is where we can make all of the changes that we need and customize this email in our own way. Now, the way that Brevo works is this is a drag and drop editor. So anything that you want to change, you simply just click, and then we can make changes right here. And if you want to add in anything else, we do so using this left-hand side. So as an example, let's say I want to add a button into my email. Well, I just go to this left-hand side, grab the button, and then I drag and drop this into the email. So if I want to add a button right here underneath this headline, well, I can choose where I want to place this button using this blue bar. So I want to place it just under the headline, so right there is perfect. And as you can see, my button is now dropped in. If we want to add another image to the email, then once again, we just grab the image, drag this where we want to drag this, drop this in, and that image element is now dropped in. So I'm actually going to create this email in front of you, and I'm going to create this as if I'm going to send this to my YouTube subscribers and show them that I just created a video showing the best time tracking apps. So up here in the title, I'm going to go in and edit this and say best time tracking apps, just like that. And then you can see right now that this is too big. So when we start typing text, we are going to get this banner above the text, and this is where we can make all of these changes. So if I highlight this, we can change the text size right here. So let's try this at about 36. Awesome. We can also change the font color right here. So if I wanted to change this to red, I can change this to red right here. And if you make a mistake and want to go back, then all you have to do is click on this undo button, and that will undo your latest change. Then for this section, this piece of text, I actually want to delete this. So all I'm going to do is click on the text, delete, and that's now going to be deleted. We then have this section where we can add a logo. So I'm going to click on this, and over here on the left-hand side, it's now going to ask me to set up my brand. So let's click on this, set up your brand. And in here, we can then upload the logo. So I'm going to go upload image, upload, and then I can add my logo in right here. So we can click on insert, and that logo is now there. And that's all I'm going to add for now. We can go in here and we can add different brand colors. We can add different fonts that we want to stick with, and even social media links. But all I want for now is this logo. So I'm going to click on save and apply brand. And now that logo is going to show up right there. Now, maybe I want this to be a little bit smaller. Then all we have to do is click in, and then we can see right here, we have these two dots at the bottom. So we could just drag this to make this smaller, or drag this out to make this bigger. I want it about this size. We can then go down and change this next image. So I'm going to click on replace right here. And then once again, we can upload an image from our computer. So I'm going to upload this thumbnail from the YouTube video that I created. Once again, insert this. And as you can see, that is now dropped into the email. We can then go down and edit this headline right here. So I'm going to say click below to watch. And then right here, we now have a button. So this call to action button, we can change the text by clicking on this. And then I'm just going to say, click here to watch. And now we actually need to add a link so that when people click on this button, they will be taken over to that video. So we can click on this, and then we can see add link at the top. So we click on this, and then in the target link, this is where you can link to anything. So for me, it's going to be a YouTube video. If you are a brand, you might link them to your store so that people can buy products. But I'm just going to go here and copy this link in, insert. And now when people click on this button, they will be taken over to this best time tracking video. Then we can go down, you get the idea now where we can click in, we can make all of the changes that we need. So I'm just going to go in here and delete all of these sections. So delete this. And then we can delete this. This button I'm also going to delete, and that image. And just like that, you now get the basics of how we can create an email. So we basically just drag things in. If I want to add a video, if I want to add like social media links, I can drag them in right here. And then all we do is click on these. And if it's text, we can change this in the middle. If it is buttons like this, then we can change this on the left-hand side and add in the URL for all of these social media links that we want people to access. We also do have a few other settings on this left-hand side, but they are a little bit more advanced and not as useful in my opinion. For example, if I go back to this image, then what we can do is we can change the layout and choose how this is aligned. It doesn't really make a difference. We can add padding and spacing, but to be honest, I would just recommend not even playing around with these settings, as they are not really worth it, especially as a beginner. Also, you might want to change the background colors right here. And the way that we do this is this top section, which is the header. We can just click into this, and then we can change the background color right here. So I might change this to kind of like fit my brand more. So we can go in and I might want to set it to like this blue color right here. Let's choose a nice blue for this. Perfect. We can set that right there. And then to change the main color of your email, we just go down to style. Then we can go to template. And right here, we can see body color. So I'm just going to go ahead and change this to white. Then once this is all set up and you have your email, then all we have to do is click on save and quit right here. And it's now going to take us back to this area. So we have the subject, we now have the design, and then all we now have to do is click on schedule right here. And we can choose when we want to send this campaign. So I can choose whether I want to send this now or schedule for later. So schedule for later, I can say maybe I want to send this tomorrow at 12 o'clock p.m., just like that. Or I can just choose to send this now and click on send now. But let's schedule this and click on schedule right here. And just like that, if I now go over to the email section, I can see the test email that I just created is scheduled. And once this is sent, it's going to tell me the amount of people that received this, how many opens it got, how many clicks it got, and how many people unsubscribed after seeing this email. We can also use SMS. So SMS is another fantastic feature in Brevo. And this is where you can send out text messages to numbers that you have collected. So to do this, we just click SMS and then create my first SMS campaign. Once again, we can create a campaign name. So I'm just going to say SMS test like that. And then we can create the campaign. And in here, we can then choose the sender name. So how this is going to look for an SMS in their messages. So I could just change this to GeForce North. Then we can go for recipients, choose a list that you want to send this to. And then once that is selected, we can now go in here, message content, and we can start drafting this SMS. So we can go in and we have up to 160 characters to use. So once again, let's send people to that YouTube video. We can say, hey, I just created a new video on the best time tracking apps. And then I'm going to say, check it out on my YouTube channel. Now, the annoying thing about sending SMS is watch what happened if I try to put a link in here. It basically says if your campaign is intended for the US, which most of these are, let's be real, including a URL can prevent your message from being delivered. So it basically picks it up as spam and stops a lot of the messages getting through. So it's not a very good idea to include links in your SMS messages, but we can include images if you want to. So once again, I can go in and choose the image that I want to add here. So I could add that in right there. And this is how the SMS message is now going to look. So once again, we can click on save, go through, and then we can once again choose to schedule this and either send this now or send this later at a scheduled time. So once again, let's say tomorrow, confirm, and then we can click on schedule. Just like that, the SMS campaign is now going to be scheduled, and that's how you can send both email and SMS through Brevo. Next, let's take a look at automations, and this is one of the biggest features and one of the most helpful tools that we can get when using an email marketing software. Essentially, what this is going to allow us to do is create a batch of emails once, and then we can set them up so that they are sent out on autopilot within like a sequence. So I will show you how this works. We can click on create an automation right here. And then by default, we are going to have a few different automations that they build for us. So we can choose to start from scratch, or we can choose from any of these. So for example, we can click on welcome message, and these are very basic. So right here, this sequence looks like this. So somebody is added to our list. We then wait for 2 days and send them a single welcome email. That's not very helpful. Abandoned cart is a little bit better, but still, essentially with all of these right here, they are very basic and they don't offer much. However, although these are basic, we still want to use one of these because this is super useful. So the one that I recommend, if you are just setting up a basic email sequence, is go for welcome message right here, because we get this entry point of when a contact is added to a list. So we are going to change this, but just click on use this automation for the welcome message. Then in here, we can choose which list we actually want to set this up. So when somebody joins a certain list, this is going to start. So let's go for YouTube email list right here. We can choose that. Then workflow will wait a specific period. We're going to change this. So let's just add to 1 minute. And then we can finish right there. Now this is all messed up. So what we need to do is just go in here and delete both of these and just leave this top option that says when a contact is added. Now we can go through and actually start building out this workflow. So what this basically means is when somebody is added to the list, so when a new subscriber joins this list, what's going to happen now? Now, usually the very first thing that we will want to do is immediately send them a welcome email. So we can go send an email right here. And then in this section, it's now going to ask us what email do we want to send. So of course, we want to click on create new email template. And then we can go in here and we can create the new email that we want to send to this person. So template name, once again, your subscribers will not see this. So I'm just going to title this welcome email YouTube list. So we know which list this is for. We can then add a subject line. So I'm going to say welcome to GeForce North. Then we can add some preview text right here. I'm just going to say thanks for signing up. Because these are the first two things that people will see when this lands in their inbox. And then from here, we can go next steps and actually start creating this email. So we can go through here. I've already showed you how to create emails, but essentially we can go through and I'm just going to select this one for now. Basically change the email, create the first email that we want to send. And then we can go back out, save and quit. And this is going to take us back over to this area. So we just created this template. So now we can go back into our automations, send an email, and then we can choose the email that we just created. So this is the first email that we are going to send. Then we can click on OK. And we can now see as soon as somebody is added to this list, automatically it's going to send out this email. So we don't have to do anything now. It's going to do this on autopilot. Then we can add something right here. And once again, we have all of these actions. So we can send a payment request, we can send SMS, a WhatsApp message, a notification. But right here, I now want to go down and add a delay. So we do have a few other conditions right here that I will explain. But for now, we can add a delay. And let's give them a delay of 24 hours. Just like that. So the email is sent, they then wait 24 hours. And then what we can do is go in and add another action. So you can choose after 24 hours, do we want to send another email? Do we want to send an SMS, a WhatsApp message maybe? But once again, I'm going to choose send an email. And then we go through the same process. So we can create a new email template, go through, give this template a name. So let's just call this second email example. Create a subject line right here, preview text, all of that good stuff. Then we can go through and create the second email that we are going to send. So let's just go for this email, for example. Once again, you would go through and create the second email right here that you want to send. Then we can save and quit. Save and quit once again. And then all we now have to do is go back to automations, open up the automation once again. And the automation is right here. So we add another email, choose the second email that we are going to send right here. Click on OK. And now this automation looks like this. So somebody joins, they are sent a welcome email. Then after 24 hours, they are sent a second email that we just created. Now, where automations, you can really take them to the next level is if we add something else right here and we can go to conditions. Now we have a few different options. First of all, we have if-else conditions. So if we click into this, this is where we can basically send the automation down two different paths. So we have a few different options here and I can't go into all of them. Otherwise this video would be like 10 hours long, but just to show you how this would work, we could go into like email marketing activity. And in here, we can say, if somebody opened the email, then send them down this path. If they didn't open an email, then send them down this path. So we can say if they opened any campaign at any time, then they go down one path. And if they didn't, then they go down the other. So you can see right here, opened campaign. If yes, then we can send them down this path. If no, then we send them down this path. So if yes, then we can just carry on with the normal email sequence. So maybe we want to send another email and just carry on like normal. If they didn't open any of these emails, then they might be inactive. So what we can do here is maybe send them an email. And in here, we might create an email. Remember, this is for people who didn't open any of the earlier steps. But we can go in and we can basically say something like open this if you're still active. We could go through and set that up, create an email right there, and basically explain, hey, I see you're not really active. If you open this email, it shows that you're still engaged, so I'll keep you on my list. If not, then I'll take you off. So we can go down right there, and that's how you can split your email marketing into two different paths for people who have taken different actions. Alternatively, instead of choosing if else, we can go wait until. And once again, we can choose from any of these options, but let's go email marketing activity. And then we can choose from any of these options. So we wait until they open this email. And if they do open this email within 30 days, then we send them down this path. If they don't, we send them down this path. So that is how you can use automations right there. Aside from automations, we also have this conversations tab. And this is going to let you reply and interact with anybody who responds to your text messages, your SMS, or responds to your emails. So anytime somebody responds to either an SMS or an email, it's going to show up in this area. And this right here is just a welcome bot, but this is an example of how it's going to look. So let's say I sent this person an email and he replied. It's going to show up like this. So what I can now do is go down to reply right here, and I can send a reply to this person. So let's say I am selling something online and somebody replies and says, is this still available? Then I can go in and say, hello, yes, this is still available. We have a 20% discount right now if you're interested. And then we could click on send. And it's just going to reply to them. Depending on if they sent a message or an email, it's then going to send that back. So if they replied to an email, then it would send this as an email. If it was a text, then it would send it as a text. Then the final thing that we are going to talk about in this Brevo tutorial is just some backend settings that you can set up. So what we can do is go up here, and in here we have a few options. So you can change the language on Brevo, you can go to your profile, and in here we can change your email address, your name, your phone number, the company information. Up here you can change your password. We can also go to My Plan, so if you want to upgrade or downgrade at any time, we can simply go into this area and choose if you want to upgrade or downgrade. We can go into settings, and this is where you can change your time zone, the time format, if you receive notifications, senders, domains, and dedicated IPs. So in here, if you have a professional email address or a professional domain that you would like to connect up, then we can go into domains right here, and you can connect your domain up and make your emails come from a professional domain. And then finally, we have users. So if you want to add users or other team members to your Brevo account so that they can write emails, they can write SMS messages and help you on Brevo, then you can add them right here. We just go add user, enter in their email address, and then you can send them a link to join, and then they will be able to join your Brevo team. So that is my complete Brevo tutorial. If you found this video valuable, don't forget to smash that like button and tap that subscribe button. And until next time, take it easy.